Hello everyone, this is Wrestling Watcher here, a YouTube channel that's about watching professional wrestling. So, Drew McIntyre has thrown down the challenge. 3 stages of hell. Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere, and Steel Cage. Now, as a result of, not this past Friday, but this SmackDown before that, where Drew McIntyre was at his home, and Nick Aldis came to try and get the contract signed, and then you had Cody show up and assault Drew McIntyre at his home. Interesting segment. A bit of a sort of movie-produced segment. Not as good, in my opinion, as the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns segment where they met on the football field last year before that tag team match. But this was pretty good. Not as good as that, but this was of that same vein where you see WWE trying to get more theatrical in its production, it seems to me. Now, Nick Aldis came out and told Cody Rhodes that he was, because of his actions, because he threw a police officer in a pond, whatnot, that was the reason why he was not allowed to touch Drew McIntyre until the title match, which will be, I believe, January 9th on SmackDown, a 3 stages of hell. I guess for that week, WWE really wants to put together a big week, because I believe that's the same week you're going to have Braun Breaker versus CM Punk for the title on Raw. So a big week of wrestling that week, obviously. Now, it's kind of old school rule where the babyface isn't allowed to touch the heel until the time of the match. So I would suspect this would be a good time to have Drew McIntyre really do some dastardly things. You know, maybe try and attack Cody Rhodes from behind again or something, right? Or even assault one of Cody Rhodes' allies. Like, I would love to see, like, something where Drew McIntyre just really assaults maybe Randy Orton again or something. Something, right? Because, you know, if memory serves, back in 2001, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin had a very similar stipulation earlier that year. It was after Royal Rumble. It was going into that No Way Out show in 2001. I believe it was Las Vegas, and they had a 3 stages of hell match. And they each signed a contract where they weren't allowed to touch the other one, or they would be punished severely. I forgot the exact punishment. I think it was Triple H would be suspended 6 months, and Austin would lose the title shot at Mania, something along those lines. And they weren't allowed to touch each other, and they each got heat by attacking someone the other person loved. I think it was Austin delivering a stunner to Stephanie, and then on that SmackDown afterwards, Triple H pedigreeing Jim Ross. And they each got a lot of heat for that. You know, each segment produced heat, which built up the match further. Maybe they can do something like that here. I'm not exactly sure how, but I definitely think it's possible. You know, Brandy Rhodes is never on WWE television except for the WrestleMania 40 Cody entrance. I don't think we've seen her much, other than be at ringside for, like I said, a WrestleMania. If this were the Attitude Era and this stipulation were to happen, you know that Drew McIntyre would be Claymoring Brandy Rhodes. So I would suspect something like that needs to happen to further build up heat. Be interesting to see what happens, but very Attitude Era-ish, but perhaps a little Attitude Era light, if that makes any sense. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Thank you.